If you're ever working out and you feel like you're not pushing yourself hard enough, just imagine you're an Uma going through training. Anyways, though, just a little heads up, if I sound a little congested, I have allergies. I went on a run and now I am suffering through the repercussions of it, although I did shave off 20 seconds off of my last mile, so now I'm at 9 minutes and 20 seconds, but that's not important. What is important is that this anime is probably going to be very controversial. Now, it has already made some noise because there's a specific character that they are, I guess, incorporating within this anime. And if you haven't heard of the name already, it's called Petals of Reincarnation. And this kind of follows the same thing of Fate, but not necessarily, because with the Fate series, you have servants and you have mages, and mages are the ones that spawn in these servants, and they are typically and usually heroic spirits from either mythologies or just people from the past that are significant enough to be, I guess, like the good guys. And depending on if they are bad, which typically they aren't except for one person, then they become like a vengeful or some type of spirit that ends up corrupting the Holy Grail War. Now, I'm going off about Fate, but this isn't about Fate. This is about Petals of Reincarnation. And from what I get from the synopsis, which reads, there exists an object known as the branch of reincarnation that grant people the talents of past lives so long as end up hurting themselves with it. I'm only going to say that and censor it because I don't know if that follows along the YouTube guidelines. But Toyo Senji, as a teenage boy, is struggling with low self-esteem after growing up in the shadow of his gifted older brother. He comes to the decision that academic studies are his last resort in a search for talent, but fails to find satisfaction despite constantly placing on the top 100 for national mock exams. In a twist of fate, Toya encounters one of his classmates, Haotoru Buffet, a returner who has resurrected the talents of her past life using the branch of reincarnation as she fights against a serial killer. So it kind of just follows the similar route that Fate does, but instead of mages, they are returners, and rather than having to go through like an actual ritual to summon heroic spirits, they use a little knife, do a little, little dabbling of cutting things, and they spawn in a historical figure. And they could go from like Einstein to one of the most problematic characters that everybody hates in this entire world, that being the man with the stash or the Austrian painter. And this is where it gets very problematic for people that are uncomfortable with these types of settings. Now, is this very controversial? Does this anime really deserve the controversy or maybe even like the dissatisfaction of others? I don't think so. I really don't think that this is a very problematic deal. In fact, there are some cases where a lot of, I guess, themes carry along with this anime. I mean, we've seen it before with Hellsing. If you didn't watch this series, you know how crazy it gets. Now, if I can't remember and recall this correctly, I'm pretty sure that is either the son or the nephew of the Austrian painter, and he is an important role within the series. And although it is crazy, it is still an important role nonetheless. And I don't see that as a problem within the anime in Hellsing. Now, I don't see that as a problem in here in Petals of Reincarnation. So I really don't know why people think this is such a problematic deal. Now, what I'm trying to say is that it's not that big a deal to where people need to complain about it, but I'm not supporting the Austrian painter himself. That is crazy. And I remember I made a video about that a while ago and people thought I was supporting this guy. Hell freaking no, dude. What are you on? Use your brain a little bit. I was just saying it's not problematic as badly as people think it is. It is just a form or a element within the story, not something that should be, criticized over. Like people criticize over fan service. Jesus Christ, man. But one thing that I will say is that there is a voice actor that has to play this person's role. And I don't know how they came across with it. I don't know if he chose it, or I don't even know if he like pulled through straws and he was just unlucky. But it definitely is going to be an interesting thing within his resume, because imagine voicing a lot of very popular characters within anime, like the main character from Haikyuu being Hinata, or the main character from Welcome to Demon School, Iruma. It's just so crazy, as well as far as to playing as Venti or voicing Venti from Genshin Impact. This guy is going to have a very interesting character within his resume, because he's going to be playing the Austrian painter, but a gender swamped younger version of that person, and he goes by the name of Ayumu Murase, which is absolutely insane, man. Like it's crazy. Again, I never expected this voice actor to play as this guy, and again, I'm not saying his name because I still don't know whether it's allowed in YouTube guidelines, so I'm refraining from the use of that. My main platform is TikTok, so I have to be like, I guess, family friendly, but I'm just trying to be on the safe side. But yeah, no, it's absolutely crazy on this voice actor. Like it's not crazy that he's playing this character, but it's just gonna be crazy within his, I guess, portfolio or resume that he has that person in there, and on next to him is gonna be playing as or voicing as. It is just hilarious, and I think that I just find that pretty funny. But yeah, no, I'm pretty excited to see what this anime has to hold. Again, it kind of reminds me of Faith, but just more on the, I guess, historical side rather than the mythology side, even though, I mean, they're using them to fight. So it's kind of like, if anything, it's pretty much more similar to Record of Ragnarok because they bring historical figures in there, but still counting the mythologies. But they have like the humanity side rather than the goddess or the mythology side. It's really much humanity versus gods. So this one is just humanity versus humanity, and yeah, I'm excited to see what they have to hold for this. Again, this anime releases April 2nd, so keep an eye out for that. Anyways, though, leave me your thoughts down in the comments. Do you really think that this anime is that controversial? Are people just making big deal out of absolutely nothing, or is it actually a problem? Let me know what y'all guys think down in the comments below. Anyways, appreciate y'all for hanging around. If you made it this far into the video, why not drop a like and subscribe, as that does help around my channel a lot. Anyways, though, y'all have a wonderful day, and I'll see y'all next time. Adios, guys.